What if I told you one of Hollywood's biggest wins might not be as simple as it looks? The applause sounds real. The tears feel real. The moment looks real. But sometimes, the story behind the moment is a lot more complicated. Because when Michael B. Jordan finally stood at the top of his career, holding one of the most prestigious awards in the world, some people weren't just celebrating, they were questioning. And once you start looking closer, it becomes harder to ignore the timing of everything that led up to it. Michael B. Jordan's journey to that stage wasn't built overnight. It was years of consistency. Years of proving himself. He wasn't handed success, he earned it. From early appearances to breakthrough roles, he slowly carved his place in Hollywood. Then came Fruitvale Station. A raw, emotional performance that showed the industry something different. Not just talent, but depth. The kind of performance that stays with you. Then came Creed. That was the turning point. He wasn't just respected anymore. He was recognized. A leading man. A star audiences could believe in. And then, Black Panther. Now his name wasn't just known. It was global. At that point, everything pointed in one direction. Michael B. Jordan wasn't coming. He had arrived. And it felt like only a matter of time before the industry gave him its highest recognition. But just before that moment, something unexpected happened. At the BAFTA Awards, what should have been a routine appearance turned into a moment that left people confused. During a segment, an offensive remark from the audience made its way into the broadcast. And here's what made it strange. The show wasn't fully live. There was time to review. Time to edit. Time to remove anything inappropriate. But it stayed in. And within moments, the internet reacted. Clips spread quickly. People asked the same question over and over again. How did this happen? Explanations came later. Apologies were issued. Statements were made. But by then, the moment had already reached millions. And for many watching, it didn't sit right. Because it wasn't just about what was said. It was about how it made it to air in the first place. And just as the conversation started building, everything changed. Weeks later, a completely different scene. A completely different energy. At the Academy Awards, Michael B. Jordan stepped onto the stage. Not as part of a controversy, but as the center of celebration. A standing ovation. A defining win? The kind of moment actors spend their entire careers chasing. And just like that, the narrative flipped. From discomfort to victory. From questions to applause. But not everyone saw it as coincidence. Because around this time, a different perspective started gaining attention. Voices like Katt Williams began talking about something deeper. Not as a confirmed fact, but as an idea. A theory. The suggestion that in Hollywood, moments of public discomfort sometimes come before major recognition. A pattern where attention, even negative attention, precedes elevation. Now to be clear, there is no verified evidence proving this. No official confirmation. No documented system. But the timing? It made people think. Because this wasn't the first time something like this had raised eyebrows. People began bringing up other moments. Situations where controversy and success seemed to happen side by side. Moments where headlines shifted quickly from criticism to celebration. And suddenly, what seemed like a simple timeline became a conversation. Some people dismissed it immediately, calling it coincidence, pointing out how unpredictable the entertainment industry can be. Because in reality, Hollywood has always been complex, full of unexpected moments, unplanned situations, human error. But others weren't so quick to dismiss it. Because for them, it wasn't just about one incident. It was about the pattern they believed they were seeing. And once people start connecting dots, the story grows. But there's another side to this. One that often gets overlooked. The reality of what it takes to reach that level. Because winning at the highest level in Hollywood isn't just about talent. It's timing. It's opportunity. It's years of work finally aligning. And for someone like Michael B. Jordan, that moment was years in the making. When he stood on that stage, he didn't just celebrate himself. He acknowledged those who came before him. Actors who opened doors. Who made it possible for moments like this to happen. Names that carried history. Legacy. Weight. And in that moment, it wasn't just about winning. It was about representation. Progress. A step forward, even if small. But even with all of that, the timing of events kept the conversation alive. The incident. The silence. The award. The reaction. And maybe what stood out the most was how Michael B. Jordan handled it all. He didn't fuel the controversy. He didn't turn it into a public battle. He stayed focused. Calm. Professional. And sometimes, that speaks louder than anything else. Because in an industry where everything is amplified, choosing not to react can be the most powerful move. Still, the questions didn't disappear. Because in today's world, perception moves faster than truth. A single moment can define a narrative. A single clip can shape an opinion. And once that narrative forms, it spreads fast. So for some people, this story became a symbol of resilience. An actor rising above distractions and achieving success through dedication. For others, it became a reason to question how the industry really works behind the scenes. And maybe that's why this story continues to spark debate. Not because it proves anything, but because it sits in that uncomfortable space. Between coincidence and curiosity. Between what we see and what we don't. Because at the end of the day, Hollywood is built on storytelling. On crafting narratives that connect with people. That make them feel something. But sometimes, the most interesting story is the one happening behind the scenes. So the real question isn't whether there's a hidden pattern. It's this: when success, controversy, and timing collide, are we watching reality unfold? Or just another story, playing out exactly the way it was meant to?